You're watching Channel 1, a multilingual channel. Browse through the playlist for your preferred language, and you're watching the gardening series. Warm welcome to you wherever you are in the world. Let's join Brother at his garden. Warm greetings, your uncle and kuya here once again, and welcome to the garden. This is the last week of May, and I'm happy, although I woke up at 4 in the morning thinking about the things to do today. I'm happy because, as we see here, the peas have begun to bear fruit. We'll give you a full tour later, but very encouraging. And just before me are the apple trees, and they are very promising. There are lots of things in store for us today. I'll give you, as I've said earlier, a tour of the garden. We'll be transplanting sweet corn and more flowers. And there will be surprises. Stay with me. Let's see how the day turns out. Thank you for your visit. Let's start with the encouraging fruits of the apple tree. I've got 6 of these. And you can only hear the birds. Oh, how inspiring that sounds. And on the other side are the pear fruits. Now, thumb size. And down here are my lettuce, ready for harvesting. You saw our films last week, where we harvested our very first lettuce. Let's go to the pea department. These are the peas. Look at this. Did I miss any fruit? These are the fruits. In a week time, I'll be harvesting them. You can even taste one now. Let's find that most mature fruit. Peas or chicharon. Or you might as well make pancit at the shed for our first harvest of the peas. These are the, how would I put it, the following. I planted them 3 weeks later, but they still have to grow. These were planted indoors to give them an earlier boost, and it was a success. These were planted directly in the ground, and you see the difference. Small one, big one. So it really pays to start early. Start sowing the seeds indoors. Let's move to the potato department. These are potatoes. I did not plant them. This is the area where the potatoes were planted last year, but I wasn't able to collect them all, so there were potatoes left in the ground. And this shoot. So this is some kind of perennial, or not perennial, what's the word? Perennial. This is some kind of a perma potato culture. Yeah. And this was the chayote that did not survive the frost. I mean, the stem did not survive the frost, but it's beginning to produce new shoots. It might be too late for this chayote to bear fruit, but we will be harvesting its top instead. Not bad. These are everlasting that I planted for the first time. I don't have a place for them, so here. Look, I think it's beginning to blossom. My very first everlasting blossom. And here are more everlasting. They still are waiting for a place to grow in. Let's get inside the polytunnel. This is the polytunnel. It's really warm in here. You might not believe that. It is, my God, 42 degrees. And the minimum this last week was almost 0 degrees. And these are the flowers Encantadora that I'm yet to plant. I don't know whether to plant them now or give them more time to grow inside the polytunnel. I think it's really warm here. Difficult to breathe. It's really warm here. And there's the strawberries. And instead of strawberries, because they're usually laid on straws or hays, I call them paper berries. Paper berries. And that is the very first strawberry. Look at that. Strawberry. Just give it another shot. It might serve as my thumbnail. Strawberry. Let's go back to the shed. It's warm. And these are the plants that we are transplanting today. The sweet corn that when was the germination time for this? I think 3 weeks ago. Yeah, they're. Let's open one cartridge and see if they're really ready for transplanting. This is a cartridge that I bought in the UK, intended for plants with deep root system. And it's easy, if you notice, it's easy to open it and transplant it. Look, that's the root system of the yeah, they're ready to be transplanted, I'm sure. This is the task for today. Transplanting the sweet corn. Another is this flower. If you notice, it looks like a banana. Comparable, maybe it is comparable to the Bandera Española. It's this is the package or the label. It grows up to 60 centimeters, so I'll be putting it perhaps here in front of the shed. This is another interesting flower. It's not mine, it's Grace, but I brought it because she left it at home. Clematis, Countess of Wessex, that's the name. Look how beautiful. Clematis. Not mine, it's Grace, but I'll be seeing it anyway. Grace is my neighbor. And to complete the transplanting task today, I also have here Lima beans or patani. In Peru, this is called what's the name? I even forget it. Yeah, patani. I'll be planting patani. And the bichuelas that we know. This directly into the ground. If you notice, I'm maximizing the available space, so I'm planting them as close as possible to each other. Farmers just broadcast them on the ground even, so why should they get sufficient space from or between one another? You know, the courgettes that I planted 2 months ago did not survive the winter. So we're looking with my Manang here. She's manning the camera. We're looking for replacements, and we went already to another garden center, and here we are, and we only have three, the last three. Yeah. Ooh. So we're having them, courgette replacements for the courgettes that did not survive the winter. You know, I got excited with this tree, but because they're big. And I did not know this is full tray of courgettes. I'm going to buy all this. Panic buying all courgettes. My biggest surprise. I started this last year and no, I did not get a harvest. I don't know, they did not grow. But I'm happy. Finally, I saw them here, pre-germinated and they're big. I'm gonna buy two. And this is a Japanese banana. The difference with our banana is that it is winter hard. It survives the winter. It's 25 euro. That translates to 25 times 6. You might be surprised with our this. Toys. Look at that. These are actually insect hotel. Not a Chinese hotel, insect hotel for bees to spend their nights and or for spending the winter during the colder period of the year. Don't forget, insect hotel. Not toys, but hotels. Panic buying. Just look around and you will understand why. It's really very enticing to purchase one. So this is the result. Let's go home and plant this. These orchids are not very special, but look how they contrast one another. Orange, oh no, orange, violet and yellow. And even the yellow porcelain set. Now that causes panic buying. Look what we have. Let's go. That concludes our garden edition for this end of May. That was a surprise, a trip to the garden center. It was not planned. The planned planting of these beans didn't happen. I'll just do this tomorrow. But it was a fruitful day. Thank you for joining me, your Kuya and Uncle here in Holland. And don't forget to watch the upcoming cooking series. See you. Till next time. And my Manang Grace there at the other side of the fence saying goodbye as well. Dios tagbati.